I am Ariana, and this is my story. Father and I had just returned from the city, Kratos, to visit my grandfather, Samuel. The city had felt like a dream. Bright festivals, music in the air, and the scent of strange, spiced foods. I couldn't wait to tell Mama how grandfather had placed a pendant around my neck, saying, "Never take it off, it will keep you safe." Back in Misty Wood, life felt simple, safe. Traders filled the square, laughter echoed through the forest trails, and the world beyond seemed impossibly far away. I didn't know it then, but fear of the rotting, a terrible illness that blackened flesh like an overripe apple and led to death, was already spreading across the land. Life in Misty Wood moved with the seasons. On the 7th day, we gathered in the Church of the Light. Brother Bartholomew said the rotting was a punishment from God. I didn't understand his sermons. I preferred my own world, where I was a warrior princess on secret quests. The forest was my world. It was where the stories in my head became real. That morning I'd climbed my favourite oak, the one with the crooked branch that made a perfect lookout. The sunlight danced across the leaves and the air smelled of pine and wild mint. I practiced with the little bow Father had made, nailing pine cones to the trunks below until my fingers ached. He always said I had a good eye. "Best keep that between us," he'd tell me. "Not everyone needs to see what you can do." I drew another arrow and aimed for the knot in the old birch. It missed. The string slipped awkwardly against my fingers. Something felt wrong. The forest too still, the air too heavy. Then I heard it. The birds, they weren't singing, they were shouting. A red light flickered through the trees, staining the branches like fire. Then came the smoke, sharp and bitter. I ran home. The path felt longer than ever. "There's a fire!" I shouted as I burst through the door. My father's face changed before he spoke. His voice was quiet. "It's the foresters," he said. "They've fallen to the rotting. The villagers are burning their house. They think it'll stop it spreading." The room seemed to shrink. For a moment I couldn't breathe. The last time I visited the foresters, they were working on a new statue. The stone was dark and veined, and the work looked hard, like it didn't want to be carved. Molly was there too. She growled at the statue, then backed away. My father put his arms around me and we stared silently into the fireplace. Despite the shadow the foresters' deaths had cast over the village, life went on, though never quite the same. The spirit of community that once filled every corner now lingered only in memory. The market square, once alive with laughter and trade, echoed with near silence. Brother Bartholomew, fearing that sin from beyond the forest had brought God's wrath upon the village, called for the annual fair to be cancelled. He urged the people to repent, to turn inward, and seek protection through prayer. But when Lord James Fitzroy heard, he was furious. The fair, he insisted, must go on. And so, beneath a heavy sky and heavier hearts, preparations continued. The day of the fair felt like sunlight after a long storm. For once, the village forgot its sorrow. Laughter returned to the square, music drifted between the stalls, and for a while, everything felt almost as it used to. Mother baked, father traded, and I wandered among the colours and sounds, pretending the darkness had never touched us. Near the square, a juggler drew a laughing crowd, his hands a blur of colour. He called for a volunteer, just 2 balls, he said. A trick to make the crowd cheer when they fell. I stepped forward. He showed me once, then tossed them to me. They didn't fall. I asked for another, then another. Soon, 5 were turning in the air, moving as if they already knew the pattern. When I caught the last one, the laughter had stopped. The juggler just stared, his pride wounded. I tried to explain. I didn't know how I'd done it, but he'd already turned away. I wandered away, trying to shake the moment from my mind. The crowd's laughter seemed distant now, thinned by the wind. That's when I saw it, the sculpture the foresters had carved. Lord Fitzroy had commissioned it, and it was he who'd insisted father drag it here only yesterday. It stood untouched, though the fire had taken everything around it. As I reached out to touch it, the air near it felt colder, heavy somehow, as if it were drinking the life from the day. A strange emptiness crept through me, sending a shiver down my spine. I turned and walked on, eager to get far away from it. The sound of cheering led me to the far end of the field, where the archery contest was underway. Men were taking turns with heavy bows, aiming at a painted board in the distance. Most missed. Some boasted anyway. The crowd's laughter rippled through the heat. Before I could stop myself, the words slipped out. Even I could get closer than that if the bow were smaller and the target nearer. A few heads turned, a ripple of amusement. Then Lord Fitzroy stepped forwards. "Let's make a game of it," he said. "If you strike the centre, you'll join this afternoon's competition. Miss, and the stables will have a new cleaner for a month." Laughter again, louder now. Someone handed me the bow. It felt heavy, the string stiff under my fingers. The laughter faded and I drew the string. The noise of the fair melted away until there was only my breath. I let the arrow fly. It struck the centre, dead true. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Then Fitzroy clapped once, slowly. "Let the girl compete," he said. I ran to find Mother, breathless with excitement. But when she turned, the joy in me fell away. Her hands were shaking. "You should never have touched a bow," she whispered. "Not here. Not in front of them." Her voice was quiet, but it carried something heavier than anger. "Hide your gifts," she said. "You cannot compete this afternoon." I didn't understand, but the fear in her eyes frightened me more than Fitzroy ever could. I promised. Not long after, Lord Fitzroy passed our stall. When he asked if I was ready for the afternoon's contest, I saw Mother hesitate. She tried to refuse, but he laughed it off. "The village could use a bit of fun," he said. After he left, she turned to me, pale and shaking. "You may compete," she whispered, "but you must not win." I was excited, I was going to compete. But somewhere beneath it, a flicker of annoyance stirred. Why couldn't I do my best and win? The afternoon sun slanted low across the field, turning the dust to gold. Crowds pressed close, voices rising and falling like waves. One by one, the others took their turns. Some hit near, some far. The crowd cheered each shot as if it mattered. When my turn came, I stepped forward. The bow felt too big. the world suddenly too small. Mother stood at the edge of the crowd. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Her words echoed in my head. You must not win. I drew the bow. My arms trembled. I told myself I'd aim close, not too close, just enough. But as I steadied my breath, another voice rose inside me, quiet but certain. Do I obey her or do what I know is right? Father's words came back. Be true to yourself. The world fell silent. In that stillness, I let the arrow fly. For an instant, I wished I could call it back. It struck the center, dead true. The crowd erupted and someone lifted me onto their shoulders. I searched for Mother. She was smiling, but tears ran down her face. We'll talk tomorrow, she said.